8 yoga poses specifically for those of us who are of a certain age, shall we say. So what I want to do today is in this practice and take you through a full yoga practice, and I will emphasize those poses when we get there, so you know which of the poses I consider to be the main 8. Hey, editing Laura here. I decided after filming this video that it might be really helpful for you to have a printable with the poses and why I recommend them. So you can grab that in the description box below, and no opt-in or anything, just it's a straight download. In it, I've also shared a few of the free resources that I have for women of a certain age. It's sort of a passion project of mine to help support women in the way that I have been looking for myself. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. And now let's get back to the video. But specifically, these poses work on 3 areas that I really believe those of us who have reached that special age need to be doing regularly. We need to work on this. The first one is true relaxation. Stress, unfortunately, is cumulative, and the older we get, the more wear and tear it has on our body, and especially once we've reached that special age, stress is even more of a factor, and it's part of what affects our sleep, our weight gain in our belly, our energy, our focus, all the things. So we really need to be relaxing, and that includes releasing tension in parts of the body where we hold a lot of tension, and truly letting our body shift down into a more relaxed state. The second thing I think we all need to be working on is a little bit of core work, or a lot of bit of core work. So our core strength is absolutely crucial for supporting the spine and also just giving our body this feeling of, yeah, I got this. It can also help prevent a lot of injuries. Now, the 2 main areas that we're going to work on is the core strength around the shoulder blades, which protects your shoulder joint. If you've ever had those issues when your shoulder clicks or there's pain in your shoulder. I've taught for over 30 years and had thousands of students, and not once have I had a student who didn't have shoulder issues experience a shoulder challenge at some point in their life. So we really want to be working on the strength around the shoulder blades, which tends to be very weak. The second area where we want to work is strengthening the glutes, your buttocks. So those muscles tend to be a little weaker. Maybe they don't even fire the way they're supposed to, contract the way they're supposed to, and we want to work on that. Now, the third area we want to work on is our oomph, that feeling of like, yeah, I got this, is personal strength power. And it's not that hard to do. And we are going to work on that in this class as well. Welcome if you are new to my channel. My name is Laura Erdman-Luntz. I've been a life coach and yoga educator for over 30 years now, and I do something unique in that I combine my life coaching and yoga to create programs that are really transformative. I really want to help people live their extraordinary life. Now, I also do a little bit of content specifically designed for women of a certain age, because ever since I hit that stage, I know I've needed a little extra support. So I've been sharing those things that I've been learning and helping you along the way. So without further ado, let's jump into today's practice. So you're going to need for today's practice a blanket. You want to sit up a little bit higher, get your hips higher, preferably than your knees, but you might not be able to get that high if your knees are really, really high. But feel free to use a couple of blankets if you need it. That just helps protect our back even more. If you're sitting like this, you're going to feel a pull in your back. If not today, eventually. So we're going to sit nice and tall, cross-legged position. And I want you to take a moment to align your spine. So you'll notice that you can tip back on your pelvis to flatten your lower back a little bit. And then you can rock forward and arc the lower back. You'll feel tension in the lower back. And you want to find middle ground where your belly and your back can relax a little bit more completely. See if you can find that spot. Feel really long in your body. Now, as we go through today's class, I will give you a number. When I do my 8 poses, I will share which poses fit within that and why we're doing it. So I'm going to explain as we go along. And I encourage you to spend a little more time on those poses, especially if you find you struggle with them, incorporate them into your own daily practice. If you're interested in me doing a full series on each of those 3 areas, feel free to comment below and let me know. All right, so we are going to start by warming up the spine. So I mentioned that one of the ways to help us relax is by releasing some of the chronic tension that we hold in our body. Everybody has it. And around the spine is a big place. So in the back, whether it's between the shoulder blades and the lower back, in your neck, all of that area needs to be released. So what I recommend doing is moving the spine in the 6 directions it's meant to be moved. And I call these spinal warm-ups. It's really simple. And that is arching and rounding, twisting, and then side bends. Okay? So I want you to hold on to your knees, get nice and tall. You're going to draw your belly button in, round your lower back, just your lower back. And then release. And again, really suck the belly button in. Feel that rounding in the lower back. And then release. And this time hold that lower back and then very slowly feel like you're moving the rounding 1 vertebrae at a time up your back until your chin is into your chest and just round. You can even pull back with your hands on your knees and then come up and arc up. And then back to neutral. Now we're going to speed it up following the pace of your breath. What I want you to do is exhale as you round. So you're squishing the lungs, squishing out the air. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, round. Inhale, come on up. 2 more times. Down and up. We're just beginning to get everything warmed up there, right? And release. And arc up. And then back to neutral. So find that quiet spot on your sit bones. That's what I always like to call it. So you're not tipping forward, you're not tipping back. Pelvis is as neutral as you can get it, and then the rest of the spine can flow upward with more ease. Now bring your arms forward and up and overhead. You're going to lift your heart, arc up, little baby back bend, and we're going to move into a twist. Twist to your right. You're going to bring that left hand outside the right knee, right hand behind you, up on top of your fingertips, and then gently move into the twist. Feel your breath in your belly. Come back through the center, sweep the arms up and overhead, and we'll go over to the other side. And again, nice and tall on your sit bones. Use the fingertips back behind you to help you get even longer, and just gently come into your twist, still breathing. And then come back through the center, sweep the arms up. Bring the palms together down the front of your body. And then release and just take a breath. Feel the difference. Change the cross of your legs. Put your other leg in front. And again, come up onto your sit bones. And I usually will arch the spine, tip that pelvis forward, and round the spine, and then find that middle ground. Every time I come into this pose, I just do a little one of those just to really be able to feel the body. We all have a tendency to either be arcing forward or rounding back, right? And when I feel like I'm in the aligned position, it's usually just because I'm moving into what my body is used to doing. So for me, I tend to tip the pelvis forward and arc the back. So I like to play with coming back every time I do this, and I almost always find I'm still too far forward. You know, I've tipped too far forward with that pelvis. And just feel the back. Now we're going to do shoulder rolls, and I want you to move from the shoulder blades, coming forward first, and feel the shoulder blades squeeze together, and then come up and round. So we're also getting into the spine. You're getting this really nice arching and rounding as well as we get into those shoulder blades. And then change direction. Open through the back. Feel the squeeze between the shoulder blades when you come back. So really engaging those muscles all the way around. One more. And you're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, arc up, and then release. Okay, we have one more direction to go, and that's the side bend. So you're going to bring the arms forward, up and overhead, lift the heart, arc up, and then tip your right hand down. You're going to reach up that left side as you come over to the side. And I want you to bend your elbow. Let the shoulder drop away from the ears and feel as if you're reaching from your sit bones. And come on up, sweep that arm up, take the other one down, or reach up. And then coming over, bend your elbow, drop the shoulder away from the ear. Feel that stretch up your right side. Breathe. And then come back up, sweep that arm up, bring the palms together down the front of the body, and then rest. And just take a moment. Just notice how you feel. Can you feel that back a little bit more relaxed? All right, let's move to standing. We're going to move into mountain pose. So our next three poses are specifically designed to give you that, I got this kind of feeling. So it's going to help you build the personal strength that you need for whatever it is that you want to do in your life, whatever it is you want to do with the rest of your life, right? So we're going to start off in mountain pose or Tadasana. And I want you to space your feet comfortably, okay? So it's about hip width apart, maybe a little narrower, but you definitely don't want to be outside of the hips. Often this is taught with feet together, but and there are good reasons for that. But it does make it a little bit more like a balance pose. I mean, try and close your eyes when you're doing this. You feel a little bit like a drunken sailor. So I want you to have your feet wide enough so that you can feel stable. We want to feel big and open like a mountain. Then I want you to rock side to side and feel your weight shift. And slow that shift until you find the balanced middle. We all have a tendency to have more weight on one foot than the other. Everybody does. And this helps us find more of a middle ground. Feel as if your feet are moving down through the floor as you are getting really long through your body. And then turn your palms forward and feel yourself turn from the upper arms, shoulder blades drawing together just a little. And we're doing that to feel more open across our heart. And then I want you to soften in the buttocks, if there's any gripping there, and soften between the shoulder blades as much as you can without losing this. Let go of the grip. And then just take a breath. You should be able to breathe really easily. There's no gripping in the belly or nothing that restricts the breath. And then feel as if you can focus 30 miles down the road. Like just send out your gaze and just feel how strong you are. Now here's the cool thing about this. If you're thinking, Laura, I don't feel strong at all, you just keep doing it. This will help you begin to feel more and more like, yeah, I can do this. Step your feet apart. The next one we're going to do is Warrior 2, and this is a great pose for building up strength. So I want you to feel really broad across the soles of the feet, get really strong. Bring the arms out to the side and feel your shoulder blades draw together. Lift the heart. Turn your feet to the right. Left foot turns in a little bit. Right foot turns out a full 90 degrees. Heel the front foot lines up with the arch of the back. Check your alignment. Now bend your right knee. Bring it right over the ankle. And I want you to keep those shoulders nice and square to the front and take your gaze across the fingertips of the right hand. Again, focusing way off into the distance. Breathe. Let your legs be really strong here. And then come on up, arms come down, turn the feet through the front. Take a breath, feel those feet nice and broad again. And bring your arms back up, and we'll go the other way. Right foot in, left foot out. Turn that left foot all the way out, heel the front foot lines up with the arch of the back. And then you're going to bend the front knee again. Take your gaze across the fingertips of the front hand. And breathe. Peek down, make sure your knee is gently pressing back so you can see your big toe on the inside of your knee. Breathe. And come back up, arms come down, turn the feet through the front, step your feet back into Tadasana, and take a breath. Feel the difference in your body? You can turn the palms forward if you want. Don't you feel that little oomph, like, yeah, I got this? We have one more for this area, and that's warrior one. So again, step the feet apart. This time we'll focus on the feet first. You're going to turn your left foot in a little further than before. So if we went in about 30 degrees, now you're doing 60. And the front foot turns out a full 90 degrees. And just let your body be angled with your pelvis, because your pelvis is halfway between, right? Bring the arms forward and up and overhead. Draw the belly in, lift tall, turn toward that right leg, and then bend your knee. Back leg is really strong. Press through that back heel as you lift up through the belly. You're really engaging through your third chakra, which is the seat of your personal power. Now, you can bring your right hand down, sweep it across your belly to help you twist even more right through that belly. And breathe. And then come back up. Arms come down, turn the feet through the front. Take a breath. So our third chakra, which is our solar plexus chakra, chakras are your energy centers. This is where your seat of your personal power lives, that part of you that's like, yeah, I can do this. And warrior poses stimulate that. So we stimulated it in warrior 2, and we're really stimulating it in warrior 1. So let's do the other side. Right foot in, again, about 60 degrees or so. Left foot turns at a full 90. Hips are at an angle. You're going to sweep those arms up and overhead. Then you're going to draw the belly in and up, arc up as you turn toward that left leg and bend the knee. And if you need to adjust the angle of the back leg a little bit, turn the foot in or out a little bit to help protect your knee, go ahead. You can also take that left foot out to the side a little bit just to widen your stance. We'll take our left hand down and do the belly sweep. And breathe. And come back up. Arms come down. Turn the feet through the front. Step back into your Tadasana. And just take a breath. Feel your body. You can turn the palms forward if you like. And just feel the effect those poses had on your body, yes, but also your mind. Can you feel that? If you had anything to do this afternoon that you were kind of dreading, I bet you're feeling like, I can do it. I've got it. That's the power of these poses. Step the feet apart again. We're going to move into a forward fold. So give yourself a nice wide stance, hands on the hip hinge. Roll the shoulders back and down and come forward right from the hip hinge. It's okay to bend the knees, and definitely bend the knees if you have any kind of back issues. Bring your hands down to the floor and bend your knees if you can't reach the floor. If you can go further, you can go ahead and let your head release down and fold forward. Find your best place in this pose. Now, bending the knees, you're going to walk over to your right leg and pivot on the feet until you are facing the right foot and dropping your back knee. Lift up through the front of the body into a lunge. And just breathe. Feel that nice stretch on the front of the hip. This isn't one of my 8 poses, but I gotta tell you, it could be. This is such a good one for lower back pain issues. We get really tight in our hip flexors. Step the back foot up next to the front one here. Give yourself a little bit of space between the feet, not quite hip mat distance, but almost. Bring your elbows to your knees, and we're going to release forward. This is great for tension in the back. It's called ragdoll. And it can be kind of intense, especially if you carry a lot of tension in your back. You want to let your head go and soften those back muscles and let them actually move up toward your head. So you're going to let your shoulders move up toward your head. You might want to go slowly. Like I said, it can be intense. Now, if you're feeling like, I could go further, take your fingertips to the floor. Knees are nice and bent. Your belly is resting on your thighs. If you can't get your belly to your thighs, keep your elbows up. And you're just going to let your head go and release even more. Just let the weight of your arms pull those shoulder blades down. And again, if you feel like you can go further, grab your elbows and let your arms just dangle. And breathe. All right, release the hands down to the floor. And you're going to step your right foot back for a lunge on the other side. Release the hips forward, lift up, feeling open across the heart again. Nice and broad. Feel your breath. And then step your front foot back and come into all fours. On all fours, we're going to work on shoulder blade stability. So on all fours, you're going to first draw the belly in. That just supports the lower back so you don't sink down there. Then you're going to let your chest to sink down, draw the shoulder blades together, and then push away and separate the shoulder blades, almost rounding between them. You're just going to take it down and up. These muscles are so important for supporting our shoulder blades and protecting our shoulder joint. Now, if you're feeling like, this is really easy, then walk your knees back or take your hands away or both and come into a half plank and keep going. Still drawing the belly in, protecting the lower back. And if you're feeling like, no, this is still easy, lift the knees and move into plank. Start to feel it, don't you? All right, one more. Come back into table if you lifted your knees, and then walk your hands away a little bit more. We're going to press the palms down, reach your sit bones up, and just stretch out the back in an extended child's. Take your forehead down toward the floor. It may or may not reach it. Just breathe. And come back up. And come down to the floor. This next one we're going to do is called Shalabhasana or locust pose. And I will tell you, this is probably the most important pose that you can work on out of everything I'm teaching you, because it encompasses so many things to help your body. So we're going to focus on strengthening around the shoulder blades. So you're going to bring your hands back by your hips. And I want you to extend each of your legs and gently press the tops of the feet down. Just a little. So you see if you can feel your especially just at the base of your buttocks, engaging a little bit. That helps protect your back. You're going to roll the shoulder blades back and down, lift the arms up, and feel yourself move from your shoulder blades. And you're just going to come up and down a few times with those arms, moving from the shoulder blades. Now, it is okay if you're really tight in the arms, you may have to bring your arms all the way out, and you can also turn the palms down and test that and see if that's easier. Just work wherever you need to and move from the shoulder blades. Now keep them up, and you're going to lift the torso and take it down. So this part of the exercise, you're still keeping the shoulder blades together, by the way. Arms are lifted. But as you lift and lower the torso, you're strengthening the muscles around the spine that protect the spine, actually protect your discs. This exercise also strengthens the neck to protect the curve of our neck, which often flattens with that forward head position so many of us have from the computer and our phones. And then go ahead and release all the way down. You're going to let your arms relax, turn your head to one side, let your buttocks relax, let your heels drop out to the side, and you can even rock those hips back and forth a little bit just to check in. I'm breathing heavily, sorry. This kind of wears me out. And then come back through the center. We're going to do another round. This time I want you to bring your arms out to cactus. Now, if you're really strong here, you can take your arms out to the side. I'm going to stick with cactus today. Extend your legs again. Gently press the tops of the feet down, feeling that engagement in the lower buttocks. And then you're going to lift the arms, feel the shoulder blades draw together, and come down. Come on up. And come down. I really want you to start to feel movement around the shoulder blades. If you don't yet, stick with it. Sometimes we can be so tense back there that we can't get movement yet, but it will come. On this next one, hold it up. And then we're going to lift the torso and then the legs. So now we're working the entire back body. We're also getting into the glutes, the buttocks. Just feel everything. Lift up a little bit more. Squeeze those shoulder blades a little bit more. And then take everything down. Now we're going to do a few more like that bit by bit. So arms. This time lift the torso by itself. And then the legs. And then lift everything a little bit more. And come down. Two more just like that. Arms, torso, legs, and then everything. And take it down. One more. Last one. Arms, torso, legs, and everything. And take it down. I'm feeling that one. Turn your head to one side. Bring your hands back by your hips. And just for a moment here, rock your hips. Let everything go. And breathe deep into the belly, releasing the back. And bring your head back through the middle, hands up underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, come up onto all fours and back into that extended child. I want you to press the palms down, reach the sit bones up, and just get this really nice stretch to the spine. And then if you're comfortable in full child's pose, walk your knees up a little. You can separate the knees to give yourself room for the belly, round all the way up, rounding your spine and coming down, hands back by the feet. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, just lie on your back and hug your knees. This should feel really good. And if it doesn't for you, because you feel it in your knees, your back, then just roll over onto your back and hug your knees. Let your shoulders relax even more. All right, come on up and roll over onto your back. We're going to do some bridge poses. This is definitely another quintessential pose that everyone needs to be doing, and it will help engage your glutes, the big muscles in your buttocks. And these are so crucial for posture, for protecting the back, so many things. And unfortunately, they tend to get a little lazy. And so we just need to stimulate them and strengthen them. So bend your knees and have your feet about hip width apart. Just have a comfortable spacing right here, what feels good for you. You're going to externally rotate your arms just a little so you're resting more on the outer edge of the arm. You're not pulling them down. You just want to open up across the chest a little bit. So you're pulling your spine up into your body. Then pushing into your feet, especially the heels, draw your tailbone under and scoop up. And you might walk those shoulders under a little bit more as you come up. And I want you to press into the feet to come higher, then press into the shoulders to lift the chest higher. Breathe. And slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. 2 more, just like that. Open the arms, press into the heels, draw the tailbone under, and scoop up. Pressing into the feet to come higher, pressing into the arms to press higher. And then check in with your feet. The tendency in this pose is to drop the knees open so you come toward the outer edges of your feet. You want to make sure you're pressing through all 4 points of the soles of the feet to keep those knees aligned. And slowly come down 1 vertebrae at a time. One more. Here we go. Open the arms. Press into the heels. Draw the tailbone under. You'll feel the hamstrings, the muscles on the back of the thighs kick in, and the glutes in the buttocks. We want that. Coming up, pressing through the middles of the feet. Pressing into the feet to come up higher in the hips. Pressing through the arms to come up higher in the chest and come a little bit higher if you can. Make sure the neck is still kind of juicy. If you're feeling like your voice is a little funky, you've gone too far and you want to come down. We don't want to strain the neck here. And then come all the way down and just take a breath. Let your back soften into the floor. Isn't that nice? Cross your right ankle over the left knee and draw your left knee up and over the chest. This is lying pigeon. And this one is really crucial because it gets into the piriformis muscle, which is right in your hip area. And this muscle gets tight from life, from sitting, from walking, from running. And it affects so many things. The lower back, the knees. It can lead to sciatica, issues with your sciatic nerve. And just relax your shoulders. And then set the foot down. Keep the knee nice and open here. Bring your arms out to the side, and you're just going to take your feet, so your legs side to side until your foot touches. Come on up and go the other way. And just dynamically go side to side, whatever pace feels good for you. And you're going to feel it in the hips and also in these muscles right in the lower back. It's the quadratus lumborum, and that tends to wreak a little havoc too. So this is just a little add-on to pigeon that's really lovely. And then back to the center, and we'll switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee comes up. And relax. Just let those shoulders go. Breathe. And you feel it right in through the hip. If you want to increase the stretch, you can just tip over to the right here a little bit. You'll get into it more deeply. My students usually laugh at me and say, no, we're good. Don't need to make this harder. All right, set the foot down. Keep that knee nice and open, arms out, and then taking the legs side to side. And again, it's just really nice. It gets into that lower back area and also into this outer hip a little bit. Just keep breathing. And come back through the center. Uncross the legs, knees into your chest, and just let your back relax. Soften your neck, your shoulders. We have one more pose. And this one, I would say, if I had to find a pose that was the most important for anybody to do at any stage of life, it'd be this one, and the Savasana or relaxation pose. And probably the one that is most commonly skipped because it's not that important, right? It is. It's going to help reset your nervous system at this more relaxed place. So what I want you to do is start by extending the legs and just seeing how you feel. So if there's no catch in your lower back, stay flat. If you start to feel a little bit of tension in that lower back, or a lot, you're going to grab your blanket and triple fold it so you have this flat surface, and place it underneath your thighs. You don't want to roll underneath your knees because you have an artery back there, the femoral artery, and it can restrict blood flow to your feet. Now, you're going to be fine, but it will keep you from relaxing fully. Then taking your arms about 45 degrees away from the body, you're going to turn the palms up, draw the shoulder blades down your back, and close your eyes. Allow your body to sink into the floor, growing very heavy, completely letting go of any tension that remains in the body. Feel as if you are sinking into the floor. Feel your breath deep into your belly. And as you exhale, let go of even more tension. Relax, release, melt. When you feel you cannot release anymore, soften just a little bit more. Letting your body grow so quiet and so calm. You're no longer exactly sure where it is in space. Soften and let go. Feel as if your thoughts now are releasing back to the base of your brain, letting them sink down so your mind can relax as well. Enjoy your Savasana. Now begin to bring movement back, gently bringing your awareness into your fingers and your toes. As you're ready, you're going to bend your knees, roll to one side, and just rest on your side for a moment. Pushing yourself up with your top hand and coming up to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment to feel your body and your mind. Do you feel more centered? Is your breath deeper? Your shoulders more relaxed? Is there less tension in your spine? And open your eyes. Thanks for joining me. I hope you feel better and you can feel the shift. Do know that doing these poses regularly will make a huge difference. So you can feel free to comment below. Let me know what you enjoyed the most. And if there's anything that you want more of, I would love to hear. And I will see you in our next practice. Hey, before I go, I do have a whole playlist of things that I've been slowly adding to for women of a certain age. So if you are a woman of a certain age, you're drawn to this video, then you might want to check out that playlist. I will link it below so you can see if there's anything there for you.